Yeah, hello everybody, and thanks for your interest. I'm Pascal Lange from the K-Businesscom in Germany, and I'm a solution designer in our company in the team Voice, and I'm responsible for the app programming as well. So I will show you the app, PBX-Designer, which functions they have, and so on. Why we program this app, PBX-Designer? We see that some administration is a little bit difficult in innovaphone admin UI, and people that have an IT Connect training or an advanced training said, oh, okay, I understood what to do, but it's difficult and it means too long to program it. And we said, okay, we need a solution for it, and we need a solution for on-premise. We need a solution for people that bought in hosted PBX by Novomind, or they have their own cloud with their own customers. For all that people, we want to make a solution with the PBX-Designer to program some things and many things that are difficult in easy way. So I will show you the PBX-Designer. In the home screen, you see a welcome message, and you see for which company is this licensed and for which time it's licensed. You can buy the license for 1, 2, or 3 years, and we will go to the licensing model in the end of the solution description. We have in our menu 2 steps, the PBX administration and the system settings. But I see I have now in German, I changed to English that you can all understand these features. We have translation in English, French, Italy, Spain as well. So we hope that we can reach everybody with this app. The system settings. At the first in the system settings, we have audio files. We have our own audio files, ordner structure. And in this ordner structure, you can see all your audio files that are possible. You can play and hear it. You can download the MP3 file, or you can delete. But delete is with a checkup. So when you want to delete a file that is used in waiting queue or something else, you become a message. You're sure that you want to delete. So we will make a checkup. Then you can handle the files. You can delete this. This is used, so I can't delete it. You can add new files. So here you have the possibility to upload a file. Make a new file name. And there's an MP3 file with 3 megabyte. I will upload this and add this. And now the file is uploaded, and there is offline conversion. Normally, you go to the website from Innovaphone, make an online conversion of the conversion of the file, became a download with all codecs. Go to your Files app, make an ordner structure, make it possible to view, upload the files, and so on and so on and so on. That all you don't need. You make here the upload. The whole conversion is offline. You don't need the online connection and this. And now you have the files. All you need, the files that are possible, is in your Files app. That's one thing. And on the other hand, you can make a live recording. We have simply the question from customers, yes, I want to have a file recording because now there is a spontaneous meeting and no one is possible. We need the information for all our callers, and you can make it. You can click on the record file, start a recording, and all I speak, actually, it will recording, and when I'm finished, I stop the recording. I can hear it twice. When I think it's not okay, I have to make it new. I can record again, or when I think it's well, I can save it with a file name saved, and all my live recording is set to the PBX, and I can use this file in all waiting queues and so on. The second step is the time switch. We have time switches, means Boolean objects in the Innovaphone PBX, and here you can manage these objects. We have set a little bit, with another optic here, and you can set the date to always a period with start and end date, or with a yearly date, or you can set it to a fixed date or a yearly fixed date. You can set many periods. You can set it all time, means 24 hours around the clock, and so on. But that's not so important. Many important is that you have the option to download this. It will download a JSON file with only this time switch, and you can import this as well. So that means when you have a much bigger time switch, I have, for example, a time switch with some periods. So here I can set the holidays, and this time switch, as I have configured, I want to have it in another PBX. So I can download it and import it in another PBX and don't need to reconfigure the whole switch. Third, we have exchange synchronization. This exchange synchronization is the same as Innovaphone has implemented in the PBX manager. Why we have the same implemented in our app? It's simply easy. Because the background is we want to have an application that can manage by people without any administration contract in background. So the PBX manager has many things for the background usage of PBX and application platform. So the application platform connection you can delete, and something went wrong, but we want to have it in one tool for each people who like this. So that's the ground we have implemented here. When you have an own cloud for your customers, and you can't get the customer the PBX manager because he can damage the whole system, and as a system integrator and cloud administrator, you don't want it. So you can use this app, and you can decline the PBX manager for the customer administration. At the next, we have call transfer. Call transfer means general call transfer timeouts in your whole PBX. No answer timeout. You can set it here. Normally, it's in the admin UI and not in the My PBX UI. So we implement it here. And we implement a recall timeout. You make a call, you will transfer it to a colleague, and after which timeout the call will come back to you. So here you can set it. And then there are the trunks. Here are only shown the trunks with an actual registration. When you have a trunk with an actual registration, you can edit, and you can set the loopback information. Each number in the Innovaphone PBX is once. So the number 0 is the typical number to make a call to extern. But what means when a call comes from extern to my PBX with this number 0? So here, this is the loopback information, and you can set where it goes to. It can go to a call flow. We will look what is a call flow. We will look at later. You can set, it's not configured, so the 0 is not reached. Or you can set it to a number, or you can set it to an object. And here is a list of all your PBX objects. You can translate the number 0 to. So this is the loopback, and then there is a call transfer for busy and no answer. It means this is a global setting for all users and all objects when they are busy and or when they have no answer. We have set it here to 50 seconds as example, and we will translate and transfer the call. That are the global settings. At the last actual in the system settings, there's the music on hold. Innovaphone has music on hold. It's like a little bit of techno, and it's nice. But when you think, oh, it's nice, but not so nice for me, I want to have a little bit other music. Then you can set it to a custom music, custom audio, and here we will show all files that you have implemented in the audio files. So each file is set here. You can set here, okay, default audio is nice, but I will want to play the music on hold I have set and upload. When you click on save, the changing is written to the PBX. Okay, is there any question about the system settings before we go to the next step?
No questions so far.
Okay, nice as well. Okay, we go to the PBX administration. In the PBX administration, we have three things. Two of them are groups, and the last is the call flow designer. At first, we go to the pickup groups. What is a pickup group? What it is, we have in the more information every time a little text what it means. So pickup group, you have a colleague behind you, and their phone is ringing, and it's not on his desk, and you can pick up the calling to your phone and answer the call. So here we can create many pickups, as many pickups groups as we want. In this example, we have two groups, a technical group and another group. And we want to see if we edit a group or create a group, it's the same thing. At the first, we gave the group a name. The name is, you can select as you want. Then you have the option to set a key label. What means a key label? When you have a physical phone, you can set a function key. And when you click on when you push the function key, then you have to transfer the file of the call of the group to your phone. That is a pickup key. And the pickup key can set globally. And now I can select on which key number I want to have the global key. So if I have 3 users, it's not so impossible, but when I have a group of 50 people, it's very nice to say, okay, I don't need to select a key for every user. I select one key, and this is the key for every user in this group. That's the first option. The second option, when I disable this function, you see here the function key of each user. I can add a user, so I can say, okay, Jane Doe will also in the pickup group of technical, and set it to active or passive. What it means, active, you can active pick up a group. Passive, you can't pick up a call from another, but someone can pick up your call. That's the description of active and not active. You can set a signal. So when there is a call in the group, I can have audio signaling on my physically phone. 0 means it's immediately the signaling, or you can set it to, for example, 5 seconds. And after 5 seconds, I have an audio signaling as well. And now I have the function keys. And here we can see which function key by the user Jane in this example is used, and which keys are free. So I can set it here optionally to the global key. That's the functionality behind it. And after click on saving, it wrote to the PBX. So every changing is offline, and only the push on the save button is the option to make it active in the PBX. At next, we have the boss secretary group. What means boss secretary group? Boss, for example, by Innovaphone or something else, means no one can call myself, but not no one. I can select which people can call me himself, and all other calls will send to my secretary. And my secretary can pick up the group, pick up the call, and can handle it. So in here, everyone who has a little bit information about the admin UI knows that all users are user objects, but a boss is an executive object. And this changing we make behind this. So you have nothing to do with this. You only have to click who is the boss. And we will see and make it here. You select a group name. And then you can set your executive object. So who is the boss? We select here Bob Smith. So this means that Bob is in the admin UI of Innovaphone is not longer a user object. That means that he will become an executive object. I want to have a call to executive as well. So he has a signaling for all calls. In the standard, it's disabled. And now I have primary secretary. Here I can select the add user as well as in the group functionality. And I can set a partner key for Jane Doe. Jane Doe will become a partner key. So that means they have a key. And when you push on the key, he can call the boss. He can see the calls of the boss. Is he actually in conversation or not? He can see it in the partner key. The label, we all times make in default and set it as label to the name of the executive object, but you can change it as you want in every label. Then you have the option to set a join key to the secretary. Join key means when he is in a meeting and not on his desk, he can set it offline so his phone doesn't ring. When no secretary is enabled, also the boss rings, and so on. He can set it a join key, and then there is a boss partner key. That means it is a partner key for the boss from Jane Doe. So with this activation, Bob Smith, in this example, Bob Smith becomes a partner key for Jane Doe. So you can push it for direct call, a little meeting or something else. And also here set which is the current key, which is a used key, or which is a free key. And the label is as well as the same as before. You can change it. Then there is a group of secondary secretary. It sounds nice. Secondary secretary means if there is no primary secondary available, it rings on the secondary. And here it's the same as in the primary. You can select one and so on. And in this user list, we don't show the user of the primary because you're the primary or the secondary and not primary and secondary. Partner key, joy key, boss partner key as well. And at the last, we have the VIP. VIP means that people can direct call to the boss without reach the secretary. So in this overview, we can see Bob Smith is the executive, the boss, and the second boss is Max Mustermann. But both of the executive have the Erika Mustermann as secretary as well. So we can handle it. We can make many secretaries to one boss, but we can make one secretary for many bosses or executive objects as well. And I can show you something. We can see here Max Mustermann is the executive, and we go into the boss in the Bob Smith, and we can make Max as a secretary as well. He's marked with a star, so it means it's an executive object as well. But in some situations you need this, so it's possible to make it. Okay, we have some questions.
No questions so far.
No questions. Okay. So we go to the last step. I think it's the biggest step, the call flow designer. We have here the same overview as in the groups. We have these chapters and can make so many as we want. And I have created one example for the central. The central, what means? That's in call flow overview. That means when a call comes to my PBX inside to the numbers 10, he becomes a menu. And the menu means in this example that's in DTMF function. We can edit it. We have some types we can set. We can make an ACD, a group, let's name it a group call. We can set only an announcement in menu, that means DTMF functionality, or a voicemail. That are the types we create in this overview. So the first example, the caller comes in our PBX and he became an audio file. Welcome to the K-Businesscom. And the second audio file is in repeating mode, and it says, okay, please press the 1 for technical questions, press 2 for other things, and so on. And after that, I have here to create the actions. Here's only the audio file, but here are the actions. What means if I press key 1? Key 1 means make a next state. Key 2, next state. Key 3, next state, and so on. I create another key. I can create key 4. And what to do? Go to a next state. A state like menu, announcement. We can see it later. I can set it to a phone number. It can be an internal number, but it can also be an external number. Or I can go to an object. So here's a listing of all my user objects, and I can set the caller to this, for example, for Max Mustermann. I can save it, and now I can see here the keys I have programmed. Key 1 means it goes to an ACD. This is the object of the ACD. Key 2 is an ACD as well. Key 3 to a voicemail, and we have programmed now the key 4 is for Max Mustermann. So we go into the next example, press key 1. Key 1 is an ACD group. When the caller comes into the ACD group, what can he hear? He can hear a ringtone. So when I said, okay, I want that he can hear ringtone, all the options that are not possible will hidden. Optionally, we can say, okay, the default MOA, the music on hold. Or we can set play an audio file. And here are 2 audio files as well. We know the first is played once and the second is play in loop. So when I have the same only in the loop, I set both files the same. And the ACD functionality make a ring to an information for many people. And here I can set the primary users to which is signal in the call. In this example, we have Erika Mustermann and Maya, and we can set it to static or dynamic. Static means also every time the call is signaling to Erika, but Maya is dynamic. But when she is dynamic, it means he's in or out, is active or is disabled. So disabled, the phone doesn't rings. And when it's enabled, she's in, then it rings. And now for this option, she became a key on her physically phone. When she doesn't have the physically phone in the myApps profile, you have the group selection, and then you can, when you set it here to dynamically, you can see there the group, and you can set it to active or inactive. But with joint key, you can select it directly on physically phone. And as we see before, here the function keys used or not used and the label. Secondary users. What the secondary use means when the primary users cannot reached after which timeout, I can select it here. I will set it to the secondary group. So the rings, the signaling is not only on the primary group, Erica and Maya, it becomes Erica, Maya, Jane, and Sally. So they will become in the group. I can select it here with the same features as before. And then I have some advanced options, maximum call for the groups, call per active agents. I make a wrap-up time after I have canceled the call on something else. So that is this group. In the next example, I have the same functionality here. It's another ACD with another people, but I have set on call forwarding. A call forwarding on non-response. So when there's nothing available and no one pick up the call, what means every time there is a call in this group, go to the next state. And that means every time when there's nothing reached, go to the next step. And the next step is an announcement. So here I will play one audio file and say, okay, wait a little time. I will transfer your call to a mobile phone. That's one example. So that means play once the audio file and after that, go to a number. Here we can set every time next state or to an object. It's the same as before in all other objects. So that's one option. In the announcement, I can set, okay, I play you are calling out of business, and after I have set it, I will cancel the call. It's the end of the call. Or I can say, okay, play not only one audio file and go to a next step or go to a next action. I can say, okay, I will want to play 2 audio files. Play first and then play second. And I can set the loop of the second file as well. So I doesn't need a transfer to another object or something else. And so I can handle it, and I can make a big call flow. In this example, you press key 3, we go to a voicemail. We set the type of voicemail, select a name, and here you can select which voicemail. And here we only show these objects. They have a possible license for the voicemail. You can select it, and now the call is transfer for the voicemail of Jean Dupont. Then we have in the first step, in the DTMF menu, we have a CFU. So that means immediately call forwarding if you are calling out of business hours. So we did it here, actions, unconditional, call forwarding when it's not the open time, go to the next state, so not the business time, and then the next state means, okay, go to a voicemail. And this is a little bit bigger. You can make it smaller like this. It's only a DTMF menu for the technically. You're calling for technical voice questions or security or Ethernet questions, and there are different users in these groups, and that's the only thing. It can also be, but it can handle very big, and there is no limit. The only limit in DTMF functions you have the keys. That's 1 to 0, stars and route. So that's the only limit you have. Okay, questions.
There's just one comment, and I just want to share it with you. And this is a positive feedback, so that this call flow designer is a very nice feature. So.
Thanks. we hope we hope. Yeah. So technically behind this, it's in the most time it's a waiting queue, but everyone who has programmed it's in the admin UI of innovaphone, it's not easy. It's not easy to make the decision what I must handle and so on. And it's nice to hear. Wonderful. Okay, then
there is one more question, and the question is how it works in combination with the PBX-Designer. So if you see here, if you do any changes on the PBX-Designer or the advanced UI and the other way around. So if this is disturbing each other or if it's combined. So that's the question.
It's completely defined. So I can show you. We have here central, the call flow of the central. And when I go to the admin UI of this PBX, you can see all objects. And here you can see CF is a call flow, and the call flow technique. And here we have the call flow central. And here are all steps we can see that we have programmed before. And if I change something here, I can see it here. When I open the app, all information is shown as the admin UI. So I can handle it on the one and on the other side. So as an admin, a profi admin, I can program it on the admin UI, and the tool I gave to my stupid customer, and the customer can program it with this tool as well. So it's handling.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay, that's the overview of the functionality. In the point of license,
there is another question. I'm not 100% sure if I get it correct. So the question I just read it is: can I use the call flow designer also for old PBX with other names? So for existing objects and existing PBXs. I think that's the same question we had in the German one.
Yeah, it's the same question. It's a good question, but no. We make and filter, the call flow designer make and filter of the names. So you can rename all your existing flows to this name conversation, then it will show. But in my opinion, I'm a good admin as well. And in my opinion, make it with the call flow designer new is faster than the renaming. So, but both are possible. When you rename it, the call flow designer will show it.
There's another question: if there is a possibility to prepare the database offline and save it to the system later.
No, because when we make it in this way, we can't. We don't have the solution for changing in admin UI will change in the PBX designer because where's the timestamp? We can't do it. We want to have an bidirectional connection between the PBX designer and the admin UI, so we can't set it with a timer and save it later.
Okay, thanks. That's it.
Okay, good. In the licensing, now we can't see it because there is an active licensing. Normally you have a button to make an order, and it will automatically generate an email and set the MAC address of the PBX and so on. And you must only additional set your business name. You can see it here. It's license 2. We have the customer name, Then you must select how many time you want, 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year licensing model, how many licensing you want to have, and which licensing you want to have. And I make a swap to the wiki article in innovaphone. By innovaphone, you have the wiki article here. You can search for PBX-Designer and you can find the how-to. And there's also a link in the application, in the app shop as well. Here are some descriptions of the application. Here is a description of the functionality. We have a video for the highlights. We have a how-to video. You can see what I have to do in the next step for a call flow designing or something else. But in the licensing is named as well. We have 3 different licensing models. We have 2 little licensing models. Audio, that means you only use the audio file conversation and the music on hold functionality. The second little thing is the group, for only manage pickup groups and boss secretary groups. And that's the last thing, the main license means all functions you have seen. That's the global licensing model for all functionality we have seen. So now is the question, how many licensings I'm needing? And here is in the description how many licensings you need. We make a checkup of your installed, because of your licensed port licensed in the PBX. We don't look at the active usage. We only see the licensing you have in admin UI under licensed. And if you have up to 20 ports, you only need 1 license. If you have 100 ports, you need 4 licensing. And every next 100 user ports, you have additional 1 licensing. So that means if you have 250 ports license in your innovaphone PBX, it means you need to create a 6 licensing for the PBX administration. When it's under licensed, so we have enough in the start of the PBX, it says in the welcome side, okay, you have not enough licensing, please buy enough, and then you can go on. So the functionality is not set when you have not enough licensing. And I think now it's a question of the pricing. And here is the pricing for split on 1 year, 2 years, on 3 years. And you can see if you buy 3 years, we make an offer of 25%. So I think it's very nice. And you have the update availability for new functions and so on. These are the price for each customer. When one of you is a reseller and you want to buy it for all your customers, for your own PBX, you call it, you can buy it for the normal price. But when you said, okay, I have tested, it's very nice, and each of my customer want to have it from me, and I have to install it for him, we make you an offer. So make a call to me or wrote an email, and then we gave you an offer to rebuy it to your customers. When you have your own cloud decision, it's possible as well. Then there's an option for another licensing. We must call about it, but here is a little example. But in this option, you can change these fields. You can make your own picture. You can give your own phone number and email. Why we have implemented here? We are programming the app, and we must make a bug fixing. So if a customer has a bug, he can send the bug to us or make a call to us and gave it the information. and we must fix it. If your customer call us and said, "Oh, I don't know how to do it. Can you help me?" When it's a little question for 1 or 2 minutes, okay, here's a tip, and now you can make it. But when it's difficult, we said the customer that he has to go to his reseller for the information. We want to make the connection as the reseller as well as it's possible, like innovaphone.
There's of course one more question about test or demo licenses.
Yeah, we have it in German as well. Okay, test or demo licensing. It's very difficult. We have no test licensing. Why we have no test licensing? It's an administration tool. When I go to a call flow and create a call flow and save it to my PBX and delete the app, what does it mean to the call flow? The call flow is working as well. And where's my money for programming this app? So we have implement the demo mode. The demo mode, everyone, or I think everyone know what the demo mode. You can click all options you can create and play here, but the save button is disabled. Why we make it so? You go to the Play Store from Google or Apple Store, you see pictures of an app and say, "Oh, nice pictures, it looks well, I will buy it for €1.50. And now you have the app and play with the app and think, "Oh, it's not that what I want to have. I don't understand it." And €1 or €2 has gone. Here it's not €1 or €2, it's more. So we have said, okay, you can play with it. And when you said, okay, I think K-Businesscom makes this what I have programmed here and push it to the PBX. I know, and it is so as I have to play. I want to have the save button. Then you need the license.